Hey, Nick Reed here. I want to go ahead and answer a couple really common questions that I get about people after they fire up their fire cold plunge for the first time. The first is, why does it feel hot to the touch? Well, I want to tell you that's totally normal. It's not anything going wrong or going to explode. Our cooling system has a compressor and coils that dissipates heat through the outside walls. So the more it cools, the hotter it gets. We joke that this is the fire in the fire cold plunge, but really it's the coils dissipating heat through the outside. Once it reaches your desired temperature, it's going to stop working so hard and you won't feel it get as hot. Maybe warm to the touch, but it can be very hot on the outside. Okay, so the other thing is, how long does it take to cool down? The first cool can take 12 to 24 hours, and it depends on a variety of factors like what was your starting water temperature, what is your target temperature, how cold are you trying to get it, what's the ambient temperature outside, how much water do you have. But typically we see an average of 12 to 24 hours. So for the first cool, and then it will maintain your temperature. The other question I get is, why do I see a different temperature than I set? So the way our cooling system works is once you set your temperature, the compressor will turn on and it will cool down to your desired temperature. Then it turns the cooling system off. And then once the temperature rises out of a 3-degree range above your set temperature, it turns back on and cools back down and cycles on and off like that. It's very energy efficient this way. You can go into the advanced settings and shorten that range if you want, but most people from our feedback have agreed that 3 degrees is a totally fine range to get the energy efficiency and save on the energy bills. So if you set it at 40 degrees, you could see 41, 42, 43. And alternatively, if you are in some of our more cold extreme climates like Alaska or Minnesota, you probably have our heating coil accessory installed, which will turn on at the lower 3-degree range below your set temperature. So it's the same thing that applies there as well. If you have it set at 40, you may see 39, 38, even 37. It's very well insulated, but we do have the heating coil accessory to keep it closer to your temperature that you've set in the event that you're seeing sub-zero temperatures. The other thing that I hear is we're getting an error code on the thermostat. What's that about? So there's two common error codes you get. One is just error, ERR. And typically what that means is that the thermostat plug has come unplugged and it can't read the temperature at all. It doesn't know what temperature it is. And that would be this one right here. So all you have to do is plug that in, make sure it's plugged in very well. Okay? Now the other code that you get is EAR, and that's a alert, like a high or a low temperature alarm alert. And typically that means that you've accidentally changed the wrong setting. So what you do to fix that is you're going to reset your thermostat by holding all 3 buttons down at the same time until it resets, and then reset your temperature. And typically that fixes it. Just make sure that you set your temperature the right way, which is hold the set button for 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. Select your temperature. Hold the set button again for 3 seconds until it gives you that beep. If you accidentally bounce your thumb, or the set button is how you move through the settings. So you may move on to another setting and accidentally change one. It's okay. You can just reset it always by holding all 3 buttons down until it resets. And you should be good to go. Another question I get is, which way do I sit? Should I sit with my back facing this wall or my back facing, this wall? And it's totally up to you. It's totally a preference. It just depends on what feels most comfortable to you. you want to be comfortable while you're getting comfortable with the uncomfortable. But it can help. But just play with it and see what works for you. Some people sit with their back against this wall and they put their feet up on the compressor house, and some people do it the other way. We do sell a backrest as a edge protector if you like to sit with your back that way. Like the small size, for example, you probably would be sitting that way. I wouldn't see you sitting the other way very comfortably. But yeah, if you have any other questions, we have on our chat on our website a whole host of FAQs that you can go through. And of course, you can always reach out to us, and we're available here, not only in the United States, but locally here in Wimberley, Texas, ready to answer any of your questions and help you. So don't hesitate don't be a stranger.